What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, and welcome back to another pre-match stream, pre-match fan show and press conference reaction. We have got every word Ryan Mason has said in his press conference. Let's hope that they're not asking how his sleep was the last week and, you know, all this kind of stupid crap that they've been asking the last couple of weeks.
How your morning's been, Ryan? Wake up nicely, sleep well last night?
Literally, that's exactly what they've been asking him. But in terms of this game, top four's done. I mean, all we got to play for is like Europa League and Conference League, pretty much.
Yep. The lower ends of European football, that's all you got to fight for between now and the end of the season. That's the position we've put ourselves in, unfortunately. And, yeah, I mean, it's not very exciting, but all we can hope for is a good end to the season, and hopefully a positive momentum can filter into next season. That's all I'm really thinking at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm dread to think about next season, to be honest. But look, we've got the press conference to play. We're going to go through every word Ryan Mason has said, and then it is your chance to have your say. The link will be in your community section in about 10 minutes. So if you want to come and join us, do click that link and we'll get your opinions on the upcoming game against Wolves. And obviously we'll speak about the protests happening this weekend as well. But shall we get into Ryan Mason's press conference? Just before we do, everyone go and scroll down, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. It really does help us with the algorithms that YouTube throw us with, so and it helps us be seen and what have you. So do scroll down. It costs you absolutely nothing, so why not do it? Let's get on to Ryan Mason's press conference. Let's see what is being said.
All right.
We on? Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our pre-match press conference for this weekend's game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Ryan Mason, obviously here to answer your questions. As always, please raise your hands.
1 sec. Is it playing out the...
And we'll try to get to as many of you as possible. After this, we'll move on to the Daily's briefing, which is embargoed until 10:30 tonight, followed by a Sunday's briefing with Rob and Tom, which is embargoed until Saturday, 10:30. As always, please, no live streaming, no social media posts during the broadcast part of the press conference, and to respect the embargoes as well. Gail, I'm coming to you first.
Hi, Ryan. Do you want to just give us a little bit of team news to start, please?
Yeah, no change. Ben is the only one that hasn't trained. He still hasn't trained, so I'll be honest, I'd be surprised if he's in contention for any of our 3 remaining fixtures, but everyone else has trained this week.
Technically, you can still make the top 4, can't you? but realistically, is the Europa League now the target of the club?
Listen, our target, and I'll probably sound like a broken record, is to get as many points as possible and see where we finish. We can't look ahead. It's very difficult in the Premier League to win 3, 4, 5 games in a row. We know that. We respect the opposition. Every game we play, we respect them. And our mind and our attention has to be on Wolves at the weekend. And it will be. And hopefully doing that, we can get a positive result. And then at the end of next week, hopefully see where we are. But of course, we want to be in European competitions. Of course, this football club, that's what we strive for. That's what we hope. That's what we expect to be in the Champions League going forward, of course.
Yeah, I mean, not wanting to make it sound like making you talk like a broken record, but the club with the size, the investment, the stadium, the players that you've got, I mean, it has to be, doesn't it? At least the Europa League.
No, of course. Listen, since I've been here as a player over the last 10, 15 years, the chairman has done an incredible job at taking this football club to the next level. And the fact that we're sitting here now saying that we expect Champions League, that's what we want, that's what we expect. I think it goes to show the expectations within the club and outside of the club as well. And of course, when you represent this football club, we want to be playing in the biggest games. See, unfortunately, this season hasn't gone as planned at times, but said it all along, we want to focus our attention to winning as many games as possible from now to the end of the season. We had a bit of a dent last weekend, but we have to bounce back and win this weekend. It's a big game.
Mikel Arteta.
Bit of a dent last week.
Catastrophe last weekend. It ended any hopes we had of Champions League football. So a bit more than a big dent, but classic Mason Hall. Only cared about the next game, the next 90 minutes. That's pretty much how he speaks ever since he's taken over at Tottenham. So
look, play the last weeks and just repeat. You know what I mean? It's the same exact garbage every single week from these press conferences.
Yeah, don't get much.
Daniel Levy trained puppet. That's all we got.
But yeah, of course we want Europa League football, don't we? Because we need some sort of European revenue coming in. Yeah, so that's what we want.
Let me just read out this super chat from Dark Sun G21, and he says, "To be honest, I think Europa League would be better than the Champions League because with our defence we would get battered. If we do a rebuild, it's better for Europa."
I mean, it's never better being in Europa League than being in Champions League. It's never better. It's like saying better off. It's like that excuse when people say, we need to go down to rebuild and be better. It's like going down never helps. It never helps. Trust me, in any situation, getting relegated never helps. And just like that, being out of the Champions League and being in Europa League never helps.
Mm-hmm. Completely agree. But having said that, if we are in the Champions League in this current state we're going out in the group stages anyway.
Well, we're out to Zagreb.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, but so at least you have to be in the Champions League to get knocked out of it. It's rather be knocked out of the Champions League than knocked out of Europa League.
Exactly. At least if you're in the Champions League, you can aim to get into the Europa League in the latter stages.
Exactly. So I don't know.
Yeah, let's go on.
Said this week that it's a great incentive for Arsenal to finish above Spurs. I mean, does that matter to you, or is that quite a nice incentive to stop that happening?
No, I'm sure it is for them. I know the importance when you represent this football club of finishing above them. Of course, I'm a Tottenham man. I know that. We can't think about that. We have to think about winning our games. And the priority for us is this weekend. And of course, I know what it means to the fans to finish above them.
I know you probably answer this every time we see you, but it's the one time we don't ask it that you might actually give us, you might forget and get an answer. Clarity on your future. Have you been given any sort of dates to work to? Have you had any updates? Have you spoken to Daniel Levy about what's happening with you and when?
No, I mean, at the start of our conversations, it was, can you help the football club until the end of the season? And then after that, the role is there to return to what I was doing. So as far as I'm concerned at the moment, there's 3 more games. And I'm incredibly proud to be in this position, helping this football club. And then after that, my hope is to remain here, of course. I love this club. I want to work. I want to help the football club. So that was the conversations before, and we've had no conversations since, because the priority and the aim has been on the games in the Premier League, and obviously we had a League Cup final as well, and to try and win the games in hand.
Just finally from me, I'm sure you've seen the protests at Old Trafford over the last kind of couple of weeks. There is a planned protest for before your game on Saturday. Tomorrow, is that it? Can't remember the days anymore. Yeah. Sorry, too much lockdown. You've seen how disruptive they've been. Have you got any extra plans in place in terms of stadiums and getting players in? Firstly, and secondly, as a Spurs fan, I think you can probably still be heartened, can't you, by seeing the voice that fans have kind of been willing to put forward over the last few weeks in light of what happened with the European Super League. And you can understand them wanting to express their frustration, can't you?
Yeah, I think firstly, I trust our security. I trust that the players and the players' safety is the most important thing, and I trust that we'll get that right. Secondly, I respect the fans. They're the heart and soul of the football club, and their opinion matters. It really does. We want our fans, our team, our football club to be aligned and all pulling in the same direction. But what I will say, and like I said a few minutes ago, our chairman and our board have done incredible for this football club in the last 10, 15, 20 years since they've been here. I know our fans see that. I know our fans respect that as well. So the most important thing for me is the connection with the fans, the players, and everyone involved in the football club. They're entitled to their opinion. There's also Wednesday next week where they can come and help and support the team. And I'm sure that's in the back of their minds as well, to get back in our beautiful stadium and hopefully help the team will be a massive bonus for them.
Brilliant. Thank you.
On Wednesday, we are allowed back in the stadium on Wednesday. You can come help and support the team for the cheap price of £60. That's what you can do. Yeah.
But you get free food pre-match.
You get a DJ set.
And a DJ set.
Yeah, you get someone's iPod playlist. Can't be sniffing at that.
Cannot be sniffing that at all. I mean, I bet you the fans are going to basically take as much food as they can just to cram in for that £60.
Must be one hell of a playlist. That's what I'm saying. Must be one hell of a playlist. Do you think, in what he says about Arteta, saying that it's big motivation for Arsenal to finish above Spurs come the end of the season, do you think the Spurs players will be thinking about that or not? Or do you think they're probably not even caring about that kind of thing?
I think they're more concentrating on getting European football than finishing above Arsenal. I think they know if they do get European football, they will finish above Arsenal anyway. So I think the main goal in the players' minds, I don't think it is to finish above Arsenal. I think it's to get European football.
Yeah, true. What about for you? Does it matter for you?
What do I prefer?
Obviously, you prefer, not prefer. Like, does it matter finishing above Arsenal for you?
Yeah, of course it matters. Yeah, it does matter, but it's not the be-all and end-all, is what I'm saying. I think that when you go into a season, I'm not thinking about finishing above Arsenal. But at this stage, when everything's pretty much blown and gone,
so we have left.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of play on your mind. But then again, I'm still thinking about kind of finishing as high up in the league. I just don't want that Conference League. I think I would prefer to finish above Arsenal and be in the Conference League. I would. But our sights right now got to be on Europa League, unfortunately. That's what the state we're at. And I think that if we do that, we will finish above Arsenal. But I think it's important for the football club to be in Europa League more than finishing above Arsenal.
And we haven't finished outside the top six, I think, since 2009, I believe. So it's now 12 years. Do you think it's important, like, to keep up that record?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I want that 20 years. I want to match them. I want to beat them. I mean, you know what I mean? I hate Arsenal with every ounce of my being. So, I mean, it's important for me. But like I said, it's not the be-all and end-all, but it's still important.
All right, let's keep going.
Thanks, Gail. Moose, Ian Abrahams.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Just on that, with fans coming back next week, I mean, it's going to seem amazing, isn't it? Even how many you have, it won't be full, but it will seem absolutely incredible to finally have them back. Will it give you a sense of perhaps some sort of footballing normalities on the way back?
Yeah, I hope so. Obviously, it's going to be an incredible feeling because it's been such a long time coming, not having fans, and 10,000 will make a hell of a difference, especially in our stadium as well. The noise generated. Yeah. We know our fans get behind the group, behind the team as well. So we're looking forward to that. We can't wait for it. We've got a massive game Sunday to prepare for and hopefully get 3 points before that. But of course, we're excited. I think the whole football world and society in general is excited at the thought of some sort of normality in the coming months.
You mentioned just before about the fact that 3 games and then you've been offered the chance to go back and do the job that you've been doing. If you get Spurs into the Europa League, might there be a chance you'll get the top job? And if you don't, do you want to go back to that job? Or now, having had a taste of first team management, would you look to maybe advance your career in that direction?
In terms of my future, I can't really answer questions on what is going to happen. All I know is that I'm here for the next 3 games. And then also the conversations were to return to the job that I was doing of head of player development, which is an important role at the football club. In terms of management, yeah, of course, I love what I'm doing. It's incredible. I love representing this football club and having the honour and the responsibility of helping a group of players get football results, because there's nothing better. The conversations will happen afterwards. The expectation was to return to what I was doing. So we'll see, yes.
And finally, you pretty much ruled Ben Davies out for the next week and a bit, which is till the end of the season. Sounds much more dramatic if I say he won't play again this season. What does that mean for him and the Euros with Wales? And will you need to have a conversation with him at some point about if he's disappointed about missing it?
I'm not sure. So Ben was out on the training pitch today. He was doing some individual work. Hopefully he'll progress very nicely over the next few days and the next week. It's too early to make a decision on the Euros, but I'm sure Ben feels confident within that. We just know, because he's been out for such a long time, it's not very realistic to expect or think that he'll return to training and be playing a game for this football club in the next 10 days.
Thanks, Moose. Okay, we'll move on to Olivia, Premier League Productions.
Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
That's
obviously you lost the League Cup final. It was your first league defeat in charge of Spurs. What was it the same? Did it feel the same, or was it slightly different?
No, it's that Olivia from when we did that BT Sport thing.
Oh, that one that fucking smashed us on that Premier League questions.
She's asking questions.
Oh, right.
Premier League.
Different around the training camp.
We was gutted. I was gutted. It hurts. Obviously, to lose a cup final hurt massively, and to lose a league game hurts massively. In terms of comparison, I don't know. Different emotions, because the games were different in terms of, I felt like the City one, it was a different game to the Leeds one. I thought there was moments in the Leeds one that kind of shaped how the game went against us, but it hurts. I don't like losing. The players don't like losing. The football club don't like losing. We want to win and we expect to win. So any game we lose is disappointing. But in terms of picking the players up and picking the group up, the best therapy is being back out on the football pitch, out on the training pitch, helping the group. And like I say, hopefully at the weekend we'll be fully prepared for Sunday.
And just one final question on Harry Kane. You've been scoring quite freely in the couple of games you've had at home under you. Will he be thinking about winning the Premier League Golden Boot across these last 2 or 3 games for you? Would you reckon? Does he think about that when he steps out onto the pitch?
Listen, I know Harry is one of my best friends. I'm sure he will want to win that, absolutely. But what I know is that he won't sacrifice that for the team. And Harry's an incredible player. We're so lucky to have him. And if he wins that, and if he can help us win games and also win the Golden Boot, then happy days. But I know Harry won't compromise a team result for his individual result. That's for sure.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, we'll go to Jack Pickbrook and then we'll finish with Ali Gold and Jonathan Ville. Jack first.
Hi, Ryan. We all saw the game at Leeds last week. Has it been a challenge to get the players fully fit over the last few weeks of your tenure?
I think when you've played the best part of 50 games and the stage of the season we're at, don't think I'm going to change fitness. I think what can change is a mentality, a belief, a confidence, which then can also change the fitness. So in terms of physical output, you're probably going to get that from a mental state or a confidence at this stage of the season because we played so many games, we spent so long on the football pitch. So I think the principles we're trying to instill in the team will hopefully help that. And of course, when you're winning games, when the momentum feels good and the confidence is up, there's no such thing as fitness because you don't think about running, you don't think about competing in these moments.
Do you think that the performance at Ellen Road then was a mix of, was it low confidence rather than low fitness? Because the Leeds players did look a bit sharper than some of your players.
No, I think if you look at the first 10, 15 minutes of the second half, I wouldn't have said that at all. If anything, I'd say the complete opposite. We were the team creating chances. And momentum is huge in football. And like I said after the game, if Harry's goal was allowed, which I think it should have been, I still think it should have been, fitness don't come into your mind. The momentum, the feeling is completely different. And the second half, if we would have took one of our chances at 2-2, I don't think anyone would have been speaking about a lack of fitness because we were the team on the front foot. We were the team creating chances. And there's moments in games that define results. And last weekend, those moments probably went against us or we weren't as clinical as we should have been. And then, of course, you can point the finger and say certain things, but fitness isn't an issue for our group at all. I can say that there's no issue with our fitness at all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack. Ali, go.
I'm not sure if you watched the last 20 minutes of the last game. Is he sure fitness is an issue? Leeds is better than us then, is that what he's saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
But do you think there's a fitness issue? Because that's what a lot of people, I remember when Solskjaer came into Man United after the Mourinho tenure, he said he was surprised about how unfit the players were. Do you think that's an issue at Spurs?
Yes, I do. And I think that the amount of late goals we've conceded this season proves that, in my opinion. And I think that when you look how fit we were, like maybe not, even under the latter parts of Pochettino, I felt we were much fitter than we are now. I thought the fitness under Pochettino maybe in the last year did decline. But still, I think it's night and day to how fit we are now. I really believe that. Don't know what you think.
Yeah, I think it's just a consequence of having a bit of a potentially the players aren't as fresh and young as they were like when Pochettino was at his peak a few years ago. They kind of grew with the team. We didn't refresh it enough, and as a consequence, we now have players who I don't think can kind of cope with heavy, intense pressing for 90 minutes and stuff like that. So I do think, I'm not so sure it's a fitness issue like specifically, but I think it may be like a physicality issue with the team potentially. That's what I would say.
Okay, let's keep going.
Hey there, Ryan. Just want to ask you, obviously, I know you don't want to talk about your future too much, obviously, because you don't really know what it's going to be exactly yet. But if, hypothetically, say the new man if there was a new man and he came in and he wanted you to be part of his first team staff, would that be something you would be happy to do?
I think the question you've asked is hypothetically. You said it. Sorry, Ali. I can't really answer that question because I don't know. I don't know. We don't know who it's going to be, what the relationship's going to be. There's so many things that are uncertain. The only certainty that I know is that I'm here for the next 9 or 10 days, sorry. And my attention has to be on that. I can't deviate from that because then you start thinking hypothetically and what certain things will look like. And I'm really not allowing myself to do that. I'm sorry to answer the question in that way.
No, that's fine. Right? I mean, I suppose what I'd say is, has this experience slightly changed maybe the time frame in your head of where you want to go with your future?
Listen, yeah, I guess I didn't expect to be retired at 25. That was my last game in the Premier League. Time frame and time scale. I've been involved in football a very long time to know that you can't plan for anything and there's no route, there's no special pathway that a lot of footballers think there is for their development. And the same goes for a coach. If you're ready, if you feel ready, and if you want to be ready, and if football clubs feel like that's right, then of course age is irrelevant. I just know that the football club asked me to do a job until the end of the season. I was very flattered and very honoured, and I felt ready to help this football club. I feel like we're doing a good job. I really do. And of course, the football club, I've said all along, once the season's done, we'll sit and think that's normal, that's natural. But my mind can't think like that, because we really have 3 important games. I said it all along, and I'll say it again. Sunday is a big game, and we want to go there with our mind, our attention, not just mine, but the players, the board, the fans, to be ready to compete and to win that game, because that's the most important
Can we just
thing.
skip the next 15 seconds or
Thanks,
something?
Alex. We'll move to Jonathan Veal to finish.
Oh my days, it's so painful, these press conferences, man.
Next time anyone asks me like what are your ambitions for YouTube, I'm just going to, you know what, I'm going to be honest, it's just about the next stream. It's all about the next stream. That's what it's all about. Like I'm going to be honest, I just cannot think past that next stream. It's all, we've got a massive stream Sunday, and it's just I can't think past that next stream.
Exactly, we've got 3 important streams coming up in the next week, and I really want to concentrate on the next stream.
It's just the next stream, mate. Just all about the next stream.
Ali Gold said during the week that Spurs were considering Ryan Mason for the permanent position, and that game against Leeds has proved that maybe it's going to come a bit too early for him. Mm-hmm. Do you think the same?
No, because I never would have considered him.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between.
Yeah, but you're not the one looking for cheap and quick fixes.
Like, I don't think it's the right call to appoint a manager at 29 years of age with no experience to a team that needs a major rebuild and needs a lot of work done to it. I don't think it's fair to put the pressure on him. I don't think it's right to, and I don't think he's qualified for it at the moment. I think Arsenal, we've seen with Arsenal, that they appointed a rookie, and they've been made to pay for it in a few ways. So I think we have to learn mistakes from other clubs and appoint someone with more experience of running a football club.
Have you seen anything that tells you that Ryan Mason can be a successful manager in the future? Yeah,
a few things. I think he's definitely very mature, and he definitely gets players on side, and I think that he's good at relationships with the players and stuff like that. But in terms of tactically and all that and coaching and all that kind of stuff,
that's going to come with time, though.
Yeah,
isn't it?
It's way too early to say. Way too early.
All right.
I can't say. I'm not going to sit here and say no chance after he's managed 4 games. So I can't say definitely either. There's only 1 more minute left.
Best thing I've heard all day.
Hi there, Ryan. Joe Rodon was in the team under the previous manager and seems to be playing fairly well. But obviously he's not featured in the 4 games that you've been in charge of. Is there a specific reason for that?
No, I'll be honest. So Joe was probably unfortunate in terms of timing. He was suspended for the cup final. So I felt the first league game, it was probably right to have the group consistent for what it was going to be in the next game. He's trained well. He's done well. All the 21 outfield players have competed in training. It's made it very difficult for me to pick a team and to pick a squad as well. But I've been happy. I've been happy with everyone. I think the defence, the team has done well. So it's difficult. But when you play for a football club like this, and when you're in this position that I am making decisions for this football club, there's always going to be players that are disappointed. But the most important thing for me is that he's remained professional, he's worked hard, he's trained well, and he's been good around the club. So that's a massive tick from him.
Perfect. Thanks, Jonathan. Okay, guys, that will be the end of the broadcast part of the press conference. We'll move.
Finally.
An actual question there, though, at the end.
Yeah. Big up Jonathan Veal, finally.
An actual question. And it's interesting, he's saying how... Because I thought that as well when Rodon was immediately not in the team. I thought I had something to do with him being cup tied for the final. But the fact he hasn't made a squad since, and he was probably our most informed centre-back before that, do you think it's a bit unfair he hasn't been included in any of the squads? I think it feels like he hasn't been given a chance.
Yeah, especially under Mason. I think so.
That's what I'm saying, under Mason,
I think so. Like you said, I think he was our best defender coming into the Mason tenure. And if it was up to me, I would play Toby and Rodon for the rest of the season, and I would have done when Ryan Mason first came in. and I think that's proved against Leeds as well.
Yeah, and I think especially with Sanchez, is he hasn't played any minutes, but he's been given. He's the one who's been given all the bench opportunities so far. So I think that he's unlucky, Rodon, and it's unfortunate that Mason kind of has sidelined him since he's come in. And I think from where he was playing, I think he probably deserved a bit more opportunities. So it's unfortunate for him, but hopefully next season he'll we get more opportunities, and we'll see.
Yeah, I just want to stop that. Just keep talking.
All right, and also Mason talking about European football, saying it's a big priority for us to try and get that last Europa spot, and it's very interesting to see how motivated the players are, because I feel like against Leeds we struggled a bit, especially near the end of the game, to try and get back in that game. We kind of lost that fight and that will to get back in the game. And whether in this game I want to see some of that to try and win back that European spot, and it's going to be very, very important. All right, do we have any guests waiting?
Got Sai.
We got Sai.
Big up, Sai.
Yes, Sai. You right?
You can hear me all right?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
Good.
How you doing, mate?
Good. Yeah, you guys all right?
Yeah, why aren't you down in London already?
My car's still on the ramp, mate. Hopefully it'll be ready tonight and I'll be on my way tomorrow. Make no doubt about that.
Yeah, so how are you feeling coming into this game? Does it matter? Does it mean anything to you, this game?
Well, I think pride went out the window some time ago. So that's off the cards.
So what are we playing for then?
I don't really know. I think it's just to hurry up the season as much as possible, just get it out of the way. It was really frustrating last week, because there was... It's like I messaged you the other day, mate. It's the constant year after year of when the opportunity is there to do something, even though at that point it's still very late, but it's still just an inkling, it gets ripped from you. It's just every time this happens. And then all the other fixtures, whether it's psychological or not, to the other teams and vice versa, all the other teams drop points, or the teams around us, everyone starts doing the opposite. And it's like, I think we can think like that quite easily, but throughout the whole season it has been like that. At the end of the day, we cannot make an excuse just from the last couple of games of trying to edge in to that top four. It's something that we should have achieved, I would say with the team we've got, but actually half the team is absolutely shit basically, so it's never going to happen anyway.
How big of a motivation is finishing above Arsenal for you, though? Is that like a big deal in this current situation?
It used to be, but then when Pochettino came in and sort of dumbed it down a bit in regards to that's small club talk kind of thing. I mean, obviously it's very nice to finish above Arsenal and keep them quiet for another year. I think they enjoy it more than we do when they're above, rather than the other way around. I think in the last few years we've done very well to finish above them. But equally, is it as exciting because Arsenal aren't really that kind of a bigger club anymore? Probably similar to how we've been recently in regards to the average performances, underachieving. They're probably just as frustrated as we are. So, can we be excited to finish above them and still finish probably 6th or 7th? Probably not.
Is it some sort of silver lining to having such an awful season, though?
It's something, yeah. If we want to, clutch at straws, then yeah, absolutely. Let's take that mini trophy and put that on the mantle for another season. I think, how many seasons is that now? It'll
be the 5th this year, I think.
Yeah,
if we do it.
So, it shows that we've come far in that aspect between the two clubs, but as the rest of the league, which is more important to me, is shambolic. And we know drastic changes need to be made in the summer. Investment wise, haven't a clue what will happen. We all know this. No doubt, probably sell Kane, buy 10 players with the money, only one survives, and we're still here in 10 years' time with the same problem. Sorry to be negative for once, but
Si, I've never heard you this negative before. We were going to win the quadruple 3 months ago.
Yeah, next year, mate. So next year, I think it's in the bag. If we can just like, please help.
Is that Levy holding a gun to you behind the camera there?
Yeah, just go away. But yeah,
go away, Daniel.
Yeah, come on, Daniel. Go and do your job. It's like I think for a few seasons now, I've always said it's like critical positions need changing. I don't want to be in another summer where the fans are at the club and the club just goes, oh, we're just going to buy someone for 60, 70 million to show everyone up, to show we've spent a load of cash. That's great to keep investing in the team as we can, but it's the critical positions that I'm more concerned about. And for years, 4 or 5 years now, it's been about that defence. Whether you look at it from the central partnership in central defence or the whole back four, we have got a bit of depth, but that depth is also terrible. So we've just literally kind of shot ourselves in the foot buying players that we hope will turn into something. But you need a couple of other things to work in that instance. You need the manager to develop them and the coaching staff to do it as well.
So I want to ask you a question. What's your opinion now, in light of the statement in midweek about fan representation? What's your opinions on the protest coming up this weekend?
Yeah, it has to keep going. A fan on the board will not change anything. The question I'm concerned about is, who is this fan going to be? Where is he coming from, or she, in that fact? And what are they? Where are they coming from? Is it, if it's someone from the trust?
They're coming from Levy's back garden. That's where they're coming from.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? It's probably Daniel's neighbour or something. You know what I mean? Like
he said, he's got loads of football fans as friends, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Spurs fans. I mean,
but that's the thing. Is like, then you have to ask the question, which we didn't get with the Super League. Is it going to be a voting system? A top priority of 5 to 10 candidates that they pick or shortlist, and then it's down to the fans who pay their good hard-earned cash week on week to decide out of that lot who's there. But then I don't know the system. I don't know that. I'm absolutely disgusted it's taken weeks for a statement to go on the website. We know that it's shambolic. Still haven't come out with a public apology, which is disgusting as well. So, I'm not going to be around the bush here. Like, I think it's appalling. The statement is another cowardly approach to try and justify again what they've been doing. And slipping in, oh yeah, we might add a fan on the board. Well, okay, I look forward to the more details on that, but I'm done with it. For 20 years, there's not. We've gone from maybe like a mid-table sort of approaching lower mid-table to a Champions League fighting positions, but we want to see. Of course, we want to see some trophies. We want to see continuous progression. We don't want to get to that last edge like we have done on a couple of seasons or a few seasons now and be let down by all the investments, the poor recruitment, I would say, because the investment money has been there on most occasions, just not spent in the correct places. And I think as fans we have a right to be frustrated. The players, I mean, come on, the players like Kane and Son, who even Vertonghen and all these players have utmost respect from us fans, and they deserve more as well. And contracts only go as far. These guys want to win something. They love the club, as do we. And I think it's just time now to have some big changes. I can't see Daniel going, obviously, because he thinks he owns Tottenham. In general, the area as well, because he builds Sainsbury's and everything. But like, he needs to either step aside, which won't happen, and he owns obviously 30% of the club. But from that recruitment level of scouting, they're obviously clearly mates. Like, because any other job, if that was my job, I would be sacked after a week because of the poor performance and all the crap results that I've given them in regards to talent and this, that, and the other. So they're clearly mates. We've seen on the documentary I've mentioned before. I don't like laziness in the workplace. He's wandering around up and down hallways on his phone saying he doesn't like arguably the most busiest and most exciting time of their season, role in terms of January windows and stuff. That's not what I want. Then you see the City documentary, and there's about 10 of them standing around the table with projects of players, left, right, and centre. I know they've got a lot more money, but it looks very amateur of a man walking up and down with fake phone calls down the hallway versus a professional recruitment level and boardroom of people that actually know what they're doing.
I hate the January transfer window. I absolutely hate it.
It's these Man City players that come along. Some of them you've never heard of, but it's because of the scouting and the recruitment process that's there. We are not at the City level of investment, arguably, but we know we have some money there. So spend the bloody thing wisely. Don't buy players that you think are going to do well in 5 years' time because you watched a bunch of YouTube videos. Go and actually do some research, because if that, like I said, that was my job, or anyone else out there on the live chat, or anyone else like you guys, if we put in those kind of performances as a job role, we would have been long gone. So that, this it's just toxic across that whole level. It's too matey. Do you know what I mean? Work and friendship doesn't always work. And there's clearly some money being thrown about internally, to keep each other happy and stuff. I've just had enough of it, mate. I just want a clean slate that we all deserve.
And in terms of
push us to the level that we want to aspire to.
In terms of the team on Sunday, do you envisage Bale retaining his place and possibly Ndombele coming into the team?
Yeah, well, I'd like to see Ndombele come in a bit more. I don't know what the situation again with him is. It seems like, again, last season where he's available and not being picked. Is that a training situation? Is it his attitude? Is he put in a transfer request? Who knows anymore with this
mentioned about being injured last week.
Yeah, he did. He came up. Well, I think he come on last week, didn't he?
He did.
I remember seeing.
He came on for the last 10 minutes, I think.
He came on for 10 minutes.
Coming on, like he was injured. Like he was like, oh, this is actually a bit of a struggle. All he did was jog on the bloody pitch, and he was like with his face scrumpled up as if he's just lost a leg or something. It's like, I don't know what that kind of attitude is, or if you're injured, don't play at all. I'd rather not see that face right now. So Gareth Bale, he was a bit disappointing last week, and it does reflect on the fact that, yes, great performance against Sheffield at the bottom of the table, but the realistic approach that last week was a more difficult game, of course, because Leeds are a fantastic team and great manager. So I would like to see Bale consistently play, because I do think he's one of those players, even if he's not playing well, it's just a spark of a genius moment can come out of nowhere. But yeah, last week was disappointing, as was the rest of the team. So yeah, I'm a question mark on those two guys, to be honest. But what choice do we have, really? Because the team is the team that we've had all year. There's nothing exciting really on the bench at all. Yeah, I'm lost for words. All my positivity has floated away this season.
It's been sucked out of you by ENIC. ENIC have completely sucked it out of you, Si.
I feel like I need to go on a holiday just to get over Tottenham.
Well, apparently you can go to Portugal with only a negative COVID test now, so get booking.
Honestly, really hope. I think I said this at the train station last year, guys. I really hope for a transitional period in the summer of transfers and a progression. And I'm sat here in exactly the same time period the year later with the same comments.
It's true. I was about to say, if you're looking for a holiday, Si, we're probably going to be in the Conference League next season. So there's a lot of exciting, wacky, wonderful European cities you can visit.
Yeah, well, as long as one of them's Portsmouth down my way, I don't mind.
Literally cities you're going to be never heard of before we're going to be playing against. But Si, finally, what's your score prediction going into the game this weekend?
I think we'll win. Maybe 3-1, because I'm hoping that they retaliate from last week, which shouldn't even be something that we're talking about anyway. But hopefully they'll retaliate from last week and give us some small smiles for the remainder of this season as we kick on for the next games. But I always say we'll win. But there we go. I'm always wrong.
Well, anyway, I'm liking the positivity of the score prediction anyway. But Si, big yourself up, and hopefully we'll get to see you tomorrow.
Nice one, Si.
Yeah,
see you later, mate.
Guys.
Big yourself up. Come on, you Spurs. We've got a few people waiting in the back end. Everyone do smash that like and smash that subscribe button as we bring on Cenk. How's it going, my man?
You know what? I'm excited for tomorrow. It's quite a big part of our history. Do you guys not think, in terms of protests, like nothing's been organised like this, as far as I can remember, since like Sugar Times? I don't know about you guys. Do you remember anything like this, like a movement this sort of big, in fact? Or
well, look, I want to see what kind of turnout it is tomorrow, because there was a lot of noise on social media before the last one and no one seemed to turn up. I know there is a lot more noise on social media about this one, but no, you're right in terms of there's nothing been this big since the Sugar Day, since they handed out sugar. So yeah, I think you're right, but I still want to see what kind of turnout there is tomorrow. Are you expecting something big?
Well, we've had all the preparation. We've had weeks in advance, so we can't sit here and say, well, we didn't have enough time to know, or there's not been enough notice. There's been perfect amount of preparation, big accounts, platforms like yourself putting it out there. So there's no excuse for people not to turn up tomorrow. It's a Saturday, and there's also people maybe turn up on the actual game day as well. So there's perfect opportunity. And boys, if we don't get the numbers, I want to sit into it's very, very disappointing, because look, you might not think ENIC out as such, as the slogan might say, but it's sort of how much we've declined, and how much we've had the opportunity to capitalise, and at our peak we didn't do as what we thought we was going to do in terms of silverware. And it's a chance now to let your thoughts known. It's a perfect opportunity when fan power has been so strong in the last few weeks with the ESL, Chelsea, etc. Even Arsenal have got onto it, and their voices have been heard, and the media's getting onto it, and it's a perfect opportunity. So. Because we can't get into the ground as well. So it's a perfect chance.
And do you think the statement in midweek is, first of all, is it proof that fan power is working, even if it's not enough, in terms of that statement Wednesday? And how do you think that statement might affect the protest tomorrow? Do you think it'll change anything?
I think they've tried to do that in terms of try to fizzle it down a little bit. They know the timing. They're clever. Do you know what I mean? They've definitely tried to sort of calm it down a little bit, because they know there's a protest going on. They're not stupid. They hear social media. They hear what goes on with the fan base. So they've definitely tried that, but I'm not falling for it. And you know what? I put a tweet out when it happened, and I went, "Yeah, well done, guys. That's a step in the right direction." I sat there and I thought to myself, "I'm not falling for that. That is just PR. I'm not going to fall for it, because I've fallen for it many times, and it's just
straight
PR.
Out the Levy playbook, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And you sit there and you think, oh well, that's fantastic, isn't it? I don't need to be so angry now, but I'm not falling for it. I've had so many words and empty lies from them. I'm not falling for anymore, and I'm strong in my stance, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, most definitely, and I am looking forward to seeing you and seeing how the protest develops tomorrow. That's for sure. But back on the game, coming onto the game this weekend, is it important for you, this game? Is there any ambitions? Are you looking forward to the game?
Yeah. To be honest, boys, this season's dead to me. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say I'm excited, because I'm not excited. I've not been excited for Spurs for a long, long time, and that really does pain me to say it, because this club means a lot to me. But when you see what's going on out of the pitch, you can't sit here and be overly optimistic, and I'm a person that likes to be positive and etc. But I just can't. And if there's one thing that we can sit here and say I want from the end of the season, is to finish above Arsenal. So that's one thing at the end of the day. And if we can do that, then at least we can, have something small to be happy about, if you want to say. And it would be interesting if we can do it or not.
Is securing European football, whether it be Europa League, I don't even want to say it, the dreaded Conference League. Let's just stick to Europa League. Is it important for you to secure that for next season?
It is important. And in terms of sort of the exposure of the club and developing some of the younger players, it is important. But we see this season, when we thought we was going to go far with Bale and Son and etc., we couldn't do it. So I think, you know what, a season outside of Europe might be beneficial. It actually might be, to sit there, rebuild. You ain't got the midweek sort of travelling back and forth to Azerbaijan and Bulgaria, and do you know what I'm saying, boys? And arriving at midnight, it's tough. So at the end of the day, and that Conference League, oh my God, who are we even going to be playing? That's another conversation, isn't it?
I'll tell you who are going to be in it, though. Roma will probably be in it.
Yeah, so look, there are going to be a few decent teams in there, but other than that, you're going to have teams from like Moldova, and no disrespect to them because it's
not
massive
even the
for them.
champions. Not even the champions. Like
so
fourth place in Andorra or something.
It might be a decent away day. I think. I don't know.
Cheap beer there, that's for sure.
Yeah, cheap beer, cheap flight. So it won't be too bad. You got to look at the positives. But look, if it happens, it happens. It's 7th place, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it might well happen. And I think 7th place is quite realistic. You know, I don't think that's sort of a place where we shouldn't be looking. I think it might actually happen. You never know.
Yeah, I know. But finally, on the game, what's your score prediction this weekend?
Oh, predicting with Spurs. That's tough, isn't it? Do you know what? I'll be realistic. I'll say a 2-2 draw. I think that'll be the result. Yeah.
All right. Big yourself up, mate.
Cool.
Thanks for coming on, and we'll see you next time. Hopefully see you tomorrow.
Good
see you tomorrow, guys. See ya.
Bye. Bye.
Cheers, coming on, Jake. It's always good to speak to Jenk.
All right, that was Cenk. Absolute brilliant call.
Apparently, there's where is this? There's the Spurs web just tweeted out. According to, I don't know if they're reliable, Soccer Link, they're saying that the PSG president has reached an agreement with Spurs right back Serge Aurier and has assured Aurier that he will be doing everything he can to bring him to PSG this summer.
Didn't he fall out of favour under Poch, Aurier?
Under Poch?
Yeah.
Didn't he fall out of favour?
He always picked Trippier ahead of Aurier, didn't he?
In the Champions League run, he did, yeah. Although he did play in Dortmund, in the Dortmund leg, Aurier played, but then Trippier was playing from
and in
then
the Premier League?
Premier League was mostly Trippier, yeah.
All right, well, let's get Bob Spur on. Yes, Bob, how's it going, mate?
How you doing? You all right?
All good, mate. All good, mate. How you doing? You in London already?
No. Travelling up tomorrow morning, mate. Gonna leave about 7:30, 8 o'clock. The kids have done me the sign. Bob Spur Jr. have done it. We want a voice.
Love that. We
want change. So I'm showing that up tomorrow. I was going to say if Cenk had any wishes to go to Moldova, he's just fucked that up, hasn't he?
In terms of the protest tomorrow, are you expecting a big turnout? What do you think the turnout's going to be tomorrow?
I hope so. I mean, you're on the group chat as well, and there's a lot of passionate people who are wanting to go, who are going. We hear from third parties as well. There's a number of people going, but then when you put the numbers down on paper, there aren't that many. I'm just hoping that there are, Ben. There's like Cenk's just mentioned. Last time when you did your protest, it was so quick. There wasn't any time to organise things. Well, we've had weeks and weeks now. So and the statements as well. Whereas Enoch's statement earlier this week kind of just brought out all the frustrations in one go. Making us look like mugs and treating us like mugs again.
Yeah.
And then you had the trust statement, which brought out the fire in us, thinking, right, finally, that we've got proper backing now. Let's show them. Let's not let the trust down, as well as all the other fans.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping so, mate. I'm really hoping so. Really do.
Completely agree. Moving on to the game, player I want to talk to you about is Joe Rodon. Obviously, he hasn't seen any minutes since Ryan Mason has come in. He was probably our best performing centre-back before then. Why do you think he hasn't seen any minutes? And do you think it's been a bit unfair on him?
Yeah, I mean, even Mason said in today's press conference, Rodon's been unlucky because the defence has played really well. Obviously, you didn't see the Leeds game. Yeah, we've played okay against. We've kept clean sheets and we've played okay against the lesser teams. But we always said the bigger test was going to be against the likes of Man City and Leeds. And to be fair, we've failed both of them. Let's be honest. Against Leeds, against Man City, we were 0-0, but they could have and should have scored. It was Lloris who kept them out. We were giving him chances. So I don't understand that. I don't know if it's anything. I don't want to go down the personal route because I think that could be labelled towards Dembele and Lucas. Maybe I honestly don't know. He's only here for a couple of games, so I was thinking what
how are you thinking, Bob, coming into this game though? Can you even get up for a game like this?
No. And I'll be honest with you. Bob Spur Jr. asked me, Dada, who are we playing this weekend? And I had to double check Honestly, no word of a lie. I had to double check, and I've never done that in 30 odd years. I've never had to do that. I was like, oh, I'm not sure. Sunday, I wasn't even sure what time kickoff was. I'm like Saturday, Sunday, Sunday. So, no, honestly, can't. None of the 3 games. And to sit here and say, I really hope we finish above Arsenal. When you look at earlier on the season, we were laughing at them being involved in a relegation fight, mate. It just shows what kind of a rubbish season it's been. And no, I can't get myself. I'm more interested in the pro. I think the guys in the US, Cody and Will, have both said if they had the chance to go to the protest right now or a game, and they've never been to a game, they'd go to the protest. I think that says everything.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And in terms of ambitions, I know you said you can't get out for this game, but is it important for us to be in that Europa League next season, or you're not really bothered about it?
Yeah, I think it'd be good. Yeah, we did okay. Well, I say we did okay apart from Zagreb. We had a few adventures in the Europa Cup. If we get to the conference, European League, whatever it's called, I think the only good thing to come out of it, I'd personally put all the youngsters in, put every single youngster, just use that as a semi-competitive tournament for all the youngsters.
If we won a trophy that way, if that was our trophy that we actually won, how would you feel about that? If that Conference League trophy was the one we won,
fantastic. I'd put it there right beside the Audi Cup.
But you know what, Bob? We're at Tottenham Hotspur. We're a club of firsts, so we're the first British team to win the European trophy. The first team to win the double. You know what I mean? We're a team of first, so wouldn't it be quite fitting if we were the first team to win the Europa Conference League as well?
Yeah, we had a few firsts this season, haven't we? We're the first team to lose as many league games under Jose. We're the first team to lose against a team whose manager's been in prison. Mate, full of firsts.
Yeah, first time Jose has lost to one of his previous clubs as well.
That's it. There you go. We could be the first team to get knocked out in the first round. So conference European team with a full strength squad. So, mate, honestly, right now, I've said this over and over again. Right now, the only thing that matters to me is to get that board sorted. ENIC, like Simke, said many a times, ENIC reform doesn't have the right ring to it, but we need change. We need change either from ENIC or we need ENIC out. That's all that matters to me, mate. I'm not fussed about a manager. I'm not fussed about a player. Right now, is getting a board in check.
Well, I know you're not up for this game this weekend, but just give me a quick score prediction.
12-5. No.
Is that the time you're going to the protest, Bob?
12-5, I don't know, mate. 2-1 Spurs. I'll never bet against them losing or drawing. So, 2-1.
All right. Big yourself up, Bob. Thanks for coming on, mate. And we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow, my friend.
See you tomorrow, mate. See you tomorrow.
Cheers. Bye. All right, that is Bob Spur TV. Everyone go and subscribe to him. Great Spurs content as we introduce the Yid Kid. How's it going, my friend?
It's great. Right now I'm in Portugal, so I'm not having great connection.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. How you feeling coming into the game this weekend, mate?
Honestly, I didn't even realize there was a game. There's nothing to play for. I don't know if you realize the American leagues of sports, there's part of a season where at the end where you have nothing to play for and you're just playing games to play. This is basically where we are right now at the season. Look, obviously people are saying that we have ambitions to end on top of Arsenal, but honestly, I couldn't care less.
What about securing European football?
I mean, I honestly want to get the Conference League so we could finally win a trophy. But
I think you're the first person that said you want the Conference League.
But even that will probably bottle it.
Yeah, it's so true. Well, to be fair, we've said on this channel the league is over the season is over so many times. I don't blame you for not for actually thinking the season is over. But what in terms of the team you expecting on Sunday? What kind do you see a lot of changes from the Leeds game? Or do you think he'll keep it fairly similar?
He said stuff about Joe Rodon. Do you think now he's going to start because of the comments that he made? But he should have been starting off way before. Eric Dyer, the only reason he ever started was because he's his mate. And if Look, he even said it a million times, Eric Dyer, that he goes outside. He went outside with him before he even got called up as a manager. He went outside the club with him and all.
It's really bad. It's really bad connection, mate. We can't really hear you. Do you want to just give us a score prediction, and we're going to have to move on because we can't really hear what you're saying.
1-1.
1-1.
1-1. He said. All right, that is the Yid Kid. Thank you very much for coming on, my friend. Sorry, the connection is just a bit too poor.
I'll just say as well, better luck on the quizzes next time. I know you're an avid quizzer, and I know you didn't do the best last time, but good luck next time.
All right, cheers, mate.
See you in a bit. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on. Is there anyone else waiting to come on? No, that is it. So I think that is it for the stream today. I would like to thank everyone for coming on and joining us today, all the callers, all the comments, and everything like that. Thank you. Big up to all your support. We are back tomorrow with some more content for you guys. Predicted lineup will be with you tomorrow. Predict the Prem will be with you tomorrow, and obviously all the footage from the protest as well.
Okay, make sure you get down there tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure if you can, if you're able to, if you want to get your voices heard, it's going to hopefully this protest should have a big turnout. And I'm really, really hoping Spurs fans getting together tomorrow in unison, all with one message that we need change. And I think it's important that we get there as many people as possible down at the stadium tomorrow, so please do go down there if you can.
Yeah, and we will both be there, and I want to stress it again, I've stressed it a few times, that please make sure that this protest is a peaceful protest, because anything more than a peaceful protest, then the message really does get diluted. So we need to stay on message, we need to make it a peaceful protest, and I think that is a very important message. I really believe that, and I think if you can't make it down there tomorrow, do try and make it down on Sunday, because there are 2 protests going on this weekend. We will be down there, we'll have a presence at both protests, so we'll definitely be down there tomorrow, me and my brother. So if you do see us there, do come over and say hi, and we'll be shouting Enoch out a lot tomorrow. Get your songs, get your voices ready, and yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. So everyone, thank you everyone for tuning in today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.